The series is so amazing. It's so moving and real. And Jimmy McGovern's work is always remarkable, but especially this series. I'm curious from you reading the script to stepping into the role, how did you connect with Orla and find her?
I think in a way you've perfectly answered it in the sense of, Jimmy McGovern is an extraordinary writer, and then paired with Helen Black on this series, the authenticity of every single character is so realistic, and it makes for an actor, there was never a moment where I felt like, would she do this? It was like, yes, she would. Do I agree with what she's doing right now? Not necessarily. Do I wish she'd maybe stop and think for a moment? Yeah. But do I emotionally understand how she's got here? Oh, yeah. And I found it really difficult to play. I found Orla really difficult, and I absolutely adored her. And she has kind of weirdly stayed under my skin in a way, because I was saying earlier that I was late to filming by 2 weeks because I was filming a series in Australia and I was playing an Australian. So when I was sent this and offered it, I was like, oh, amazing, it's my own accent. And I was like, oh, she's from Huddersfield, I'm from Huddersfield, all these things. I'm a world away from all of it. There's so many things that I don't need to research fundamentally the system you're in, or, those kind of things. They're a given. I get them. And then I started to play and I was like, oh, so hard. Like, it felt weird because I was like, oh my God, amazing. I can, you know, I, this will be like a glove in some way. And it wasn't, but it was wonderfully challenging. And I was so well supported by the other phenomenal cast, particularly the children playing my kids.
Mm.
The wonderful actress playing my mum, and then also Andrea and particularly Paul Morris as well. Andrea and Paul he's the DOP. There were scenes that were so incredible to shoot, and I had no idea they were going to be like up there in my favourite things to shoot. But because it was done so intimately, and it was never style over substance. Never once did we hear the term drone shot. Well, doesn't matter if I'm acting my ass off here, it's a drone. We're going to go with the take when the drone works. None of that. It doesn't matter where very quickly I had to kind of like get into a rhythm because I was late. I didn't know what I was doing. They'd been filming for 2 weeks. It was the most method acting I could have possibly done because I got there and was like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. And I was so like, oh, and it was just perfect for it but then I was in this space where it was like, the camera will find you, not hit that mark, do that, none of that. It was wonderful. It had moments of ad-libbed moments, but this didn't need to be an improvised piece because you were gifted these words by these two extraordinary writers.
Well, it's an amazing, amazing team. The cast is just remarkable every second of the way. What is the set like as an actor? Because I've often heard, maybe this is a North American thing, I don't know, but like I've often heard that the funny things are so serious behind the scenes because they're trying to save the comedy, and the serious things are often hilarious. Where did this fall?
Well, I've never done like out and out comedy, I don't think. I mean, Doctor Who's obviously lighter than this, and that was a right laugh. So I think mainly, I don't know if I'm the bad influence, but generally, if people aren't happy at work, you're not going to get good work, in my opinion. And that means the grip, it means the makeup artist, it means every single actor's process. As long as everybody's process is respected when we're going, the in-between bit, to me, should feel like an absolute gift. So you're essentially on the best school trip you've ever been on because you're with these amazing actors that you absolutely love. You're living away from home and you're with brilliant people who you can only cry with the people you can laugh with in the safest way. And I think that that's the thing. We all approach things completely differently, like as actors on every job. But the overriding thing for me has always been that I've always had such a lovely time on jobs. And the only time I've ever felt really proud of my work is because it's come out of having a lovely time on a job. Because the minute you need to focus, you're in the safest of spaces to do it. And the people that have made you laugh 10 minutes before will give you a massive cuddle if you need it, because it's been really, really hard. And I think that, we're a lucky lot. And we lived, like we were filming through a lot last year. Like we were filming through the writer strikes in America, before the acting strikes. Like, what a gift to be on set. What a gift to say these words, things like that. And I think I'm lucky because we were all of the similar mindset that we all love our job. And to be a working actor it's not a guarantee.
The things you've done in your career and to step into this kind of series, to have this kind of opportunity, do you feel like, did things along your way prepare you for a role like this? Or do you find, the ability within you as you go with each role?
Yeah, I suppose weirdly, I think because I'm most known for Doctor Who, I think people would associate something like Time being like, oh, it's a really big jump. But actually, this is absolutely where I started. So all the things that I did before the Doctor were very heightened, very emotional, playing a lot of complicated women in very traumatic or difficult situations. And as when I finished Doctor Who, I was very much like, I am going to go off and do some light-hearted stuff. And then everything I read that I fell in love with was like straight back in. And I don't know what it is, because it's I don't know, these kind of stories really resonate with me. I don't think you need to be a mum to play a mum. I don't think you need to have been to prison to play someone in prison. I don't think I needed certain qualifications to play Orla, but I don't really overthink things. And I certainly was knocked sideways a lot of the time in scenes where I really thought, oh, in this scene, I'll definitely keep it together. And something would happen and I'd absolutely lose it. And it were external things you can't control. Like the girl, Matilda, who played my daughter, she was wonderful. The children were extraordinary, but there'd be moments with her where they'd be leaving the prison visiting room and she wouldn't let go of me. As a little actor, she knew, you're playing my mum. I'm going to treat you like my mum. And she wouldn't let go of me. And I had to physically pull her off. And that wasn't the scene. It wasn't, saying bye to kids is awful. That's not in the stage directions. It's just the children leave or whatever. But when you're prizing someone off and they're looking at you with these big eyes, I've absolutely gone. So I think if you think about that before you do it, you're not responding to the people in the room because you're not listening. And I think that's the only thing. Like, I've never been very good at, loads of stuff. But I think in the thing that I am is I'm really nosy and I love being in a scene and being totally absorbed. Like, I'm easily distracted. So just watching what everyone else is doing is fascinating to me, because also it's the thing that will give you the most realistic response.
Last thing I'd like to know is, in terms of playing her, do you feel like she has a message for viewers that they're going to get out of her journey in this series?
I think the thing that felt very powerful to me was someone who commits a crime isn't necessarily a criminal. And that, for me, with Orla, it highlights everything. And this is not a documentary at all. But what this is a very well researched, very detailed piece where everything that happens to those characters, all of them, has happened in our, not yours, I don't know anything about yours, but in our current, prison system for women. And I think if you were to read a tagline that said single mum, drug addict, can't say about Abby because I don't want to give anything away, but you get a label and you don't see the human. And I think what this show does is show you the human.
Yeah.
And I think it asks wonderful questions without any spoon feeding of an answer.
It's remarkable. Thank you so much for the time. You're absolutely amazing in this. It's gut wrenching. It's amazing.
Thank you very much. Thank you.